What?
You remember this photo?
Oh, God.
No crying.
I can't help it.
No crying.
All right.
This is a happy radio
This is
station.
a happy
This is Good Morning America.
I'm not going to cry.
This is Good
Yeah.
Morning America. This is
No,
a
I'm just
happy
gonna
radio
I'm
station.
not going to cry. Look
This
at
is
this.
Kathy Lee and
No.
Hoda.
Now, wait.
Okay, this is
Wait,
a happy
wait,
radio
wait.
station.
You want me to take the hat off?
No, it's
they won't
perfect.
know.
Remember, it's radio.
I
So-
know. They won't know if I have
Beautiful.
the hat
Yeah, they don't know
on.
that if you have the hat on. It's
I
radio.
know it's radio.
Well, now they
I
do because you
know.
told them.
I know. I'm not scared of this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I did the extra work in films and all. I'm not scared of this.
That's right. So, welcome to Happy Radio Station. Please tell me your name and your relationship to Eric.
Well, my name is Estelle Sussman, and I am the great-grandma of Eric's.
Absolutely.
Eric Hirschfield, the great-grandma. I can't believe that I'm the great-grandma. I really can't. But I am. And I'm sure you all know Eric Hirschfield. He had the most wonderful party last night. And all his friends were there. And I know Eric had friends. But in my life, I never saw anything like it. He had this tremendous room with this tremendous bar that goes all the way around. And everybody was sitting, going where this bar was going all the way around. And there were as many people there as the furniture. And they all came over to me. And I gotta tell you something, I don't know if you know, I'm up there in age. I can't believe that I'm 98. I just had a birthday not too long ago. December the 13th was my birthday. I don't even want to talk about me. I just want to talk about Eric. There were so many people that depended on him, and he was always right there. Right there. Maybe that was good training from his mom and his dad. Whatever. But that's Eric. And
Now-
people came over to me last night that like I never saw before. And they said, "Oh, we are so appreciative of what your grandson has done for us." And I said, I know that. And I don't know, I could go on and on and on. And I hope that you're listening to this. I really do. And I am so thrilled to be here.
I know that you are so proud of Eric. How are you and Eric alike? In what ways are you similar?
Well, let me see. Maybe our sense of humor. It could be that. You know, I would say something to him, Grandma, and he would get hysterical. I think I do have a good sense of humor. Yeah, because with my life was very happy, exciting, and very happy. And yeah, and people always said I had a sense of humor, and I think Eric he's a lot like me.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so.
He is, and I'm so happy that I'm like him. So, here I am.
That's right. Well, I think you are a lot like Eric, and your family is. Now, tell me a little bit. I heard a rumor about the day that he was born, and you were in the bathtub. Were you in the shower or the bathtub?
I was in the bathtub, yes. And my husband, Seymour, said, "Here he is, Christmas Eve, a little boy. A little boy. I wanted to go down the drain. I was, oh my God, he's here already. Oh God, get me out of here, get me out of here." This was and he was brought in, he was in a Christmas stocking, and he was brought into his mother, Donna, and Donna talks about it so often. he was brought into her in a Christmas stocking.
Just right for a little
You
Jewish
know-
boy.
I'll tell you, and tonight is supposed to be very much like last night, and you couldn't beat last night. It was just super, super. And I was sitting on a high stool at the bar, and I never got a chance to get off because everybody was coming over to me. Excuse me, my voice is changing, and I don't want to sound like a little old lady. So, everyone was coming over to me and saying, oh, if it wasn't for Eric, and I said, I know. And I would love to hear all the stories, Like I said, I wouldn't mind living in Washington.
Yeah, it's a
But I
nice
should have said that 10 years ago. But I'm in Florida, and I'm doing pretty well. I'm lucky. I'm lucky for a lot of things. I am. And I have wonderful grandchildren. Wonderful.
Just
And friends. Always had a lot of friends. Like Eric.
What's the secret to being a good friend? Is there, what does it take to be a good friend? Because you have a lot of
You
them.
have to care about somebody. You have to listen to somebody. If there's a little problem there of some kind, and they would come to us with this problem, we would listen. And if there was something that we could do, we would do it. That's Eric's life. And I was like that. That's why I had so many friends and interesting friends. My life is interesting. Could I tell you just a little tiny bit about it?
Please.
Well, at 17, Eric has the pictures. I started as a model in the garment industry. And it's a little bit the same now as it was then. But, excuse me, I really don't sound like this. It's something. Could be the Washington air. Anyway, I remember the building where I worked, 1400 Broadway. I met R.H. Macy just right after he opened the store on 34th Street. I remember that. God is good to me. It's letting me talk about this at 98.
So tell me about your work when you were working in the garment industry when you were 17. What did you have to do?
I'm sorry.
What did you do when they took your photograph, didn't they?
I was a model.
Yes. What do you remember
Yeah,
wearing?
we used to go, there were buyers that would come into our place and order something for different stores. That's how we met R.H. Macy. And he took one of the girls out. I worked with two other girls. And today they have runways where these gorgeous models walk and show the clothes. Excuse me. But at that time, there were little 1400 Broadway, and there were different firms on every floor. That was it. And the buyers would come in and sit down at a desk with a paper and pencil, and me and two other girls, 3 models, were in our little dressing room. And we would put a dress on. It was dresses at the time. And we would put a dress on, and we'd walk outside, and we would pose, for the buyer. And hopefully he would write an order, where the clothes would be sent to the store. And then we would rush back and put on another one. And that was it. And I loved my job. I did. And I loved my girls that we worked with. And we had so many friends. And then upstairs, there was this firm that made suits, coats and suits. And the owner's son asked if I would go out with him. I said, sure, of course. And the guys weren't the same then as they are today. There were so many gentlemen years ago. It's so different. This is such a different world. But I'm happy that I'm happy that I'm here to see it and hear it. But it is so different, really. I mean, we used to go on a Saturday night, and my husband and I, when I was married, when he wasn't too busy, and even before with my dates, we would go and listen to these great orchestras. Harry James, the I can't think of the two brothers. Jordan. Oh, isn't that awful? The music, and we would go dancing, and it was so beautiful. It's not like that today.
How did you meet your husband? So he wasn't working in the suit department upstairs. Where did you meet him?
I met my husband because our vacation from work was the beginning of June, because I'm looking for the word, where the buyers all come in.
That's season, yes.
Yeah, and the season, right, was starting. So we had to take our vacation, before then. So I had heard, and my mother had heard about this hotel, and she thought it would be nice if I went up there on my vacation with a couple of friends, okay, and it was called the Takanasi, and it was in High Mount, New York, I believe. I think New York, yes. So we decided to go there. We went up there, me and two other girls in one room, because we didn't want to spend the money, It was cheaper if the three of us stayed in one room, but that was okay. They had 2 beds, 3 beds, I don't even remember. So we came down, and the hotel was magnificent. And they had this big ballroom, and every night they had music and dancing. And I'm sitting with my friends, and I'm looking to see who was dancing, and I see this gorgeous man that was a fantastic dancer. And I said, I would like to meet him. This is what I said to the girls. Well, I did. There was a little plug of some kind that went off in my head. Today is different. No, I let them all the time, really. So I had a crush. We used to say a crush. Yeah. So I had a little crush on him. And he was very, very nice to us. Very, very charming, very nice. I mean, he saw that everything was perfect for us. And I came home, went back to normal work and everything. And I got a phone call from him. And he invited me to come up to his hotel for a weekend. And my mother said it's okay, because I had to ask my mother. Today you don't ask mother's permission. Today you don't ask for permission from anything. You just go and do it, right? And the romance started. And he was so wonderful. And then the season was over, so they all came back, and they had apartments or homes temporarily, in Asbury Park. So I got a phone call again. And my mother said it's okay, because she knew the family. And I went. And they showed me the most wonderful time. Wonderful. And one night, Seymour, that was my husband's name, said, I'm going to take you to this restaurant here in High Mount. We're not going to have dinner here at the hotel tonight. And we went to this restaurant, and they had this little TV coming down from the wall. And all of a sudden we hear, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States. And President Roosevelt got on. And he said, I must say, our battleship was sunk, and we are going to be at war. And ladies and gentlemen, believe me, I want to keep talking, but I was thinking of that night. And I shouldn't cry anymore, but I just can't help it. And I looked at Seymour, and I mean, I don't know anything about politics or anything like that. And I said to him, a war? What kind of a war are we going to have? What happened? And then you know what happened after that. And time went on. I mean, I could go, but I'm not going to talk that much. But I married him when he was in service. And he told me before, that we were going to live at a base in Charlotte, North Carolina. And he said, and it's going to be fine, but it's not going to be like this. You're not going to have a stove like this one. You're not going to have a refrigerator like this one. And we got married, and my children have the pictures, and he was in uniform. And we were married. But I wanted to get all dressed up as a bride. I did. Yeah. And I was dressed up like a bride. And then I said to everybody, I'm going to live in South Carolina, but I don't know what's going to be there. I don't even remember how old I was at the time. I don't remember how old I was at the time. But anyway, with these pictures.
I know. There are some wonderful...
Yeah, we lived and we went to the, I forgot what you call it. It was like a supermarket. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
Everything was so inexpensive. This was like a different world, And there were a lot of people, little houses, little brick houses, and an oil can outside. I mean, where you would have to put oil in this can every night and then bring it into the house, this little house, so it wouldn't be too cold. Charlotte, North Carolina. And you know what song was played all the time on something upstairs, what they had, where you would hear the music all over. I'm trying to, it was, it'll come to me. A song that was played all the time. Oh, God. Oh, I wish this would work a little more. I'm pointing to my head. You don't want to hear it. Like I say, I could go on and on and on. And the people that we met, that we never thought we would met before. But this is...
Well, because
and I was so afraid because they were beginning to send people overseas. And I was so afraid that they would take my husband, but thank God. But he was on the boat. I mean, we all came back to New York. And my mother and father, they always loved to entertain. Had all his friends and everybody to come up, to say goodbye because the ship was leaving the following day. And this is what happened. And we had steaks at the Lobster. My father he had a slaughterhouse in New York City. So, I mean, to have a beautiful broiled steak, it was like nothing. But all these people, North Carolina, down south, all over. This is who we met. And they became friends of ours. And I knew that they were all leaving the following morning, that ship was waiting. So I had to say goodbye. And I did. And my mother and father tried to console me and everything. And they said, the war is going to be over soon. Don't worry. All our boys and girls are coming back. Don't worry. And I was just miserable. I didn't know what was going to be. That next morning, I get a phone call from Seymour. He says, I'm not going. I said, what do you mean? Is the war over? He said, I'll tell you when I get back. They had a physical examination before they went on the ship. And they found that Seymour had a pilonidal cyst on the back of his spine. And that kept him off. Now, is that a miracle? That's a miracle. And he was lucky because they had so many soldiers that were walking up and down. I don't remember where it was, what street it was. I don't know if it was Madison Avenue or where we lived or whatever. And I had a friend that had a flower store on the corner. It had to be Fifth Avenue where the stores are. And she calls me up. She says to me, I just saw Seymour. He's marching with all these guys, with all the soldiers. We were so lucky. He was a Wharton School graduate. Very smart. And that's why he was lucky. Because when he first went into the service at South Carolina in that little house with the oil can, where you had to put the oil in, not like here. He was lucky because he was put in the office there because he was a Wharton School graduate. My kids take after him, not me. My children do.
You have
Eric is a lot like Seymour too. Friendly, so many friends. Don't worry about this. This won't happen. Don't worry about that. You'll see. What are you worried about?
Yeah.
This was my favorite. And here I am sitting here at 98. I don't tell everybody, but we became friends last night. So that's why I'm telling you. And I want everybody that's listening to this to know how wonderful and how lucky Washingtonians, is that what you say?
Yeah.
Washingtonians are to have somebody like Eric living here.
Getting that phone call from Seymour saying, I'm not going, must have been one of the happiest moments
Oh,
of your life.
God, it was like, like a miracle happened. Everything was a miracle, even listening, having dinner in a restaurant, and having the president come on and saying that we're at war all of a sudden, that this ship was sunk. And I didn't understand what was going on. And I remember, it wasn't good. It was not good. But the hotel, everything went on for a while. And I wanted it, like I said, I wanted to be dressed as a bride. Eric was in, not Eric, Seymour. Oh, God. Seymour was in uniform, and we left right away. I left my parents right away to go to South Carolina for a different life. But he was lucky, thank God. You asked me about him, and that was my life years ago.
Wonderful.
I've always been happy. It was good, even though I never had a brother or a sister. And then
But then you had children of your own.
I found out that I was adopted. And Eric looked into everything. And even right now, he's probably doing something out there, trying to find out who my real parents were. And I said to him, I know who my parents are. I know who my parents are. And all of a sudden, there's something going on, and Eric is testing. And they're telling me I have a different father and a different mother. I'm telling the story, how Eric is working with this. And I keep saying, this is my daughter, Donna. Isn't she beautiful?
Yes, you can see how much you look
Isn't
like.
she? And Darren, this is my grandson, Darren. Yes, we're all very good looking in our family, I will say that. And where did I leave off now?
Talking about Eric looking in
Yes,
to an adoption.
Where did I leave off,
you
Donna?
said you know who your parents are. Yes, the mother and father who raised you.
Oh, you know what Eric is doing? And I said, I wish he would stop already. Because he says to me, Grandma, I found out who your father is. I said, don't tell me that. I know who my father was. But he was not satisfied. And he went on and on. And then, excuse me, and then he found out, right, Donna? I'm questioning my daughter. And this guy, what did he say about him? I don't know. I think he has kids from 5 women. And I said, he must have been some charmer. You know, I said, he's not my father. I know who my father is. I know who raised me. I don't even want to hear about it. No, Eric was not satisfied. He had to go on and on and on. I think he's still working on something.
Well,
Would you believe it?
Eric loves a project.
Even though I said no, I told you. Even though I was an only child, I told you. I was so happy with my friends and what I did, my so-called career. That was my life. I still remember. They had pictures, right, Donna? Pictures when I worked modeling.
Yes.
Remember the film? And I told them about my life and how it was and what happened with my husband when he was called and then he was off the ship and how lucky he was. They asked me about Dad, Donna.
Okay.
And I told them
So sweet.
how wonderful.
We watched a lot of home movies last night of family celebrations, of birthdays on they must have been taken 40 years ago, 50 years ago. The color is so intense. There were pictures of vacations. Do you remember specific vacations, or
Pictures of what?
of swimming pools, kids in swimming pools, and glamorous moms in bikinis, and the sort of Esther Williams era swim caps. We watched some videos last night of a hotel swimming pool, and I have a feeling you were in these videos in a bathing suit. There's some pictures on your knee right now. Is this you? Who's in this picture? Who's that? Yeah.
Jonna, holding Eric.
Yeah.
Yes, is this Norman? No, this isn't Norman.
What do you?
Oh, this is me.
Yes.
This is me holding Eric, right?
Yeah.
And let's see. Is this Grandpa? Is this Grandpa?
I think so.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And look.
Look at that little cutie pie
Yeah.
in the middle. What was he like as a little boy?
Adorable. Absolutely adorable. Always wanted to be with us, right, Donna? Always wanted to be with his mother. Wanted to be with me. Of course, he knew that we always had a good time, my daughter and I. And he just was a fun person. Oh, I could tell you a million stories. I mean, but we don't have time. A million, but he was just such a happy kid, right, Donna? I'm asking my daughter. Come on over here. No, I'm sitting fine.
Yeah, what about this little cutie?
Yeah, if I could see.
Look at that.
If I could see. Oh, God, this is him in the stocking. Oh, this is something. And on Christmas Eve, that's lucky. That's very lucky. And he has been lucky. Thank God. I have to knock wood. He has been lucky, because there were plenty of times when maybe he thought he wasn't so lucky. But he picked himself up and he started all over again. I knew. I didn't have to be told last night. I knew, because this is Eric. This is Eric. And everybody that came over to me, I mean, I wasn't talking about stupid things. The conversation was always, oh, if it wasn't for Eric, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. And I wanted to hear it. And I never got off that stool. Never. And Eric kept coming over to me and kissing me. And I kept saying, Eric, look at this. Look at all your friends. I'm so proud of you. I mean, how many people could have a party like this with so many friends coming, male and female? You had to do something right. You must really have good blood in you. Oh, Grandma. Oh, thanks. And another kiss. And another kiss. And he loves his family so much. And he has time for his family with everything that he does. But like I said, another reason I'm so proud of him is because there was a time when it was not that great. You know? He may have struggled a little tiny bit, but then came up fast. Right. And he wants everybody, all his friends, to be well. That's the most important thing, that you're well. And that's what he wants. And I am so lucky and happy that I'm here. And if it wasn't for my grandson, Darren, I would not be here. I knew that Eric was going to have a party, and I would say, oh, I wish I could go. And Darren said, you're going. You're going to go. And I said, I can't go. I'll never make it. I'll never make that plane trip. And Darren said, come on. You're going. And then Donna said, I don't know. I really want to go. And Donna said, well, Mom, let's see what happens. We want you to be there. You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Let's see. And they made all the arrangements. Okay. And here I am. Here I am to celebrate with all you people.
I have to say, looking around the room last night, I could tell who your family was. You're a good-looking bunch, but you're also very fashionable. You take great pride in your appearance. Is this something you learned as a teenager when you were working as a model?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so, because we got to know everything, and the idea that different. I said, I worked when they opened R.H. Macy on 34th Street. I understand they're still there on 34th Street. And one of the girls that I work with, I think she went out with R.H. Macy. Yeah. There are a couple of people that Norman, my son-in-law, is friendly with. And one of them, I think, passed away. I don't know, but he was a kid, but he had a job as a button salesman. And he used to come up to this firm where I worked. Because how it was, they would have a designer there that would design an outfit or something, and she would make the outfit, and then I was in my room with my two other girls that modeled, and she, the designer, would be in the next room. So she would call Estelle, or Marjorie or Rhoda or whoever, come on in, and we would have to fit the outfit to show the buyers to send to the department stores. So this button salesman, came to the window. He wanted an appointment, so they would buy his buttons. He was just the salesman. And he became a very, very good friend of Donna's dad, my son-in-law. He just passed away. And he said to my son-in-law, Norman,
he's your ex.
Of course, Norman tells me all the time, and I am not conceited. But
It's your ex.
Yeah, but he used to say, I remember your mother-in-law. I'm trying to think of the name of the firm. And she was really something. Wow. 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 I wish I could push the clock back. And this is Eric. This is Eric talking, stories. This is it, and listening. And this is how I am, and this is how the family is. We listen. We're interested. We're so close. We want everything to be just perfect. Perfect. Healthy. A little bit of wealthy. What is it now? Healthy, wealthy, and what?
Wise.
Yeah.
Now you've got a great-grandson in the room right here.
All of them.
So he's clearly in middle school, high school. What was your best subject in school?
My best one.
When you were in school, what was your best subject? Where did you do really well?
God. Do I have to tell you this?
Yeah.
I wanted to take up French in high school. I worked with Lauren McCall. She just died not too long ago. Yeah, we all lived in the same neighborhood, And she went to Julia Richmond. I think that was the high school. Anyway, I wanted to take up French. And I remember my French teacher, his name was Dr. Schwarzel. Okay. He didn't like me. I don't know why, but he didn't like me. So, I remember a little something, s'il vous plaît, donnez-moi. That's what I remember. I don't remember anything else because I left the class, because I knew he didn't like me. And that was the end of the French. So that's all I can say. S'il vous plaît, donnez-moi.
So if that was a low point in high school, what was a high point? What is your best high school memory? When you think about high school, what was your happiest moment in high school?
I don't remember being so happy in high school. You know, maybe I wasn't a good student. I don't know, but I can't tell you too many stories about that. But I always had friends. Always had friends. A lot of friends. And that's important. And being an only child, you know, I was lonesome at times. Growing up, I was wishing that I had a brother or a sister. And I used to say to my mother,
Is that Grandma Estelle?
Yeah.
Grandma, hi.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Hey,
You've been on the radio talking for a few hours.
I know.
Time flies.
I
Wow.
know. Let me
Did you tell some good
finish what I was
stories?
saying.
Yes, just going to finish what you were saying about being an only
Listen.
child and telling your
Eric,
parents.
sit down. It's all about you.
I know, but we're wrapping up the radio station.
Oh, my
we're getting ready to
God.
go to a commercial break. We need a word from the
I
sponsors.
can't help it. I'm asked to say something.
We need a word. This commercial. We need to go to a commercial break.
Yeah, okay.
And
Commercial
your
break.
T-shirt. What does the
Yeah.
T-shirt
Okay,
say?
okay.
Says,
Okay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Okay.
Controversial in some
I hope
circles,
everybody's
not this
listening.
one.
Yeah.
I hope everybody in this area is listening and hear me say how lucky you people are that you have an Eric Hirschfield. How lucky.
Yeah, I agree.
But don't ask for too much.
And that's a wrap.